I'm here to share with you some good news. And actually, I think it's really exciting news. The good news is, for the first time in human history, we have the opportunity to flatten global education and make it free and accessible to everyone. Really. I mean, think about it. What is stopping us from doing it? Is it connectivity? No. 80% of the world's connected. Is it content? No. We have open education resources, and over the next 3 years, the entire K through 12 educational playlist is going to be online. Is it the technology? Of course we have technology. We could run, look at the iPhone. The iPhone has over 6,000 educational software applications on it, and new ones every day. You have distributed computing, which means that we don't need connectivity issues. We have the hard drive space, which means that we could use Wi-Fi and queue-ups to keep the content offline. We have intelligent agents such as Lion's Head Milo. That means that we can now use artificial tolls or intelligent tolls or avatars to help interact with the learner. We have IPTV. I don't know if you saw Juice that came out like 3 years ago, and that subsequently had issues and problems. But the reality is that the application means that we can deliver television via distributed networks from point to point. There are tools in development, Adapt TV, Clatcher, which is going to make it possible to remix any content with Google audio indexing and other technologies, translation, Google Translation, Microsoft Translation. It means that we can turn anything in any language, and we can find anything, and it won't be long that we will be able to access, search a 60-year of global television archive and pull content and use content and remix it. There's nothing in essence stopping us from bringing about a moment that I call eSingularity. It is the moment, as I mentioned before, where all education is free and accessible to all. There's nothing stopping us except for one thing. And it is the one thing that ultimately stops anything from happening. And that is a cultural paradigm. It's the same cultural paradigm that thought when applications first came on the web that if you had something like Facebook, you should charge $14.95 a month for. It was a cultural paradigm that believed that it would take a concerted effort like Encarta to bring about an online encyclopedia, and that you would charge for it in a traditional manner. But like all these things, what it doesn't take in account are the fringe elements. Wikipedia, Facebook. There are these fringe groups out there, Twitter, that ultimately ignore the cultural paradigm and do something amazing. And in the process of doing that, they shift it. Now, ultimately, EDUITS and what I'm looking to do with my organization is the same thing. What I'm ultimately looking to do is shift a cultural paradigm. Shift it so that we can embrace the idea that knowledge and education should be a natural right for all. And in reality, eSingularity that I have turned, education singularity, that point in human history when 2 billion individuals who earn less than $2 a day can get an 8th grade education, math, science, and language arts for free, will happen. There is absolutely nothing stopping us from bringing it about. That's the fact. There's nothing. There's no technology. There's no connectivity. There's no content. There's absolutely nothing stopping it from happening except for a cultural paradigm. So my wish is for everyone in this room to embrace the idea that education can be and will be free, and that eSingularity is going to happen. And it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And that when is when you decide to make it a reality.